So let's start, and good evening almost, but hello for everyone, and welcome to our Qlik Baltic Meetup. As we see, we are guests from Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. Let's start with our Riga third one, seventh for both us. Latvia and Lithuania. And let's start with questions. I would like to ask you, how often do you use link table, or you use them at all? Or do you use IntervalMatch function in your daily scripts? And do you know how to use them? And the last question for today is, do you know about something about dynamic dimensions and customizable reports? Answer probably is yes, yeah, because as we said in our meetup, we would like to talk about simple techniques and in some cases via basics. So let's start with them and discuss every question one by one, and just a few words about agenda and what we will do and how we will do today. So first of all, I would like to ask everybody to ask questions. Please use conversation, or you can ask question after every topic what we have today. Presenting for 10-15 minutes, and we have like a Q&A session at the end of every topic. And first of all, I would like to introduce the Infotrust company. So we are hosting this meeting today. Just few words about us. Right now, we are almost 20 employees in 2 countries, and we are doing data analysis, BI project, data warehouse projects for more than 20 years. And we provide Qlik official trainings. We are official Qlik partners, so we support, we sell licenses, and of course we implement Qlik projects. And very shortly about us and our agenda. First of all, first will be Uldis Putnins. Uldis, just be ready. He will tell us about customizable reports with dynamic dimensions. He will show some examples. I will say that all our topics will be based on examples. We are not going to show huge presentations, just examples and questions after presentation. So let's start. Are you ready, Uldis?
Always.
That's good. Okay. Please take screen sharing from me, and let's start.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Very happy to see you all here today. And as Oleg said, I would like to discuss a little bit about customizable reports. As dataset for this part of presentation, I took EMDB movie database from Kaggle, and this dataset have around 85,000 records and about 20 columns. So as we can see in data load editor, then I just load all this data set from Excel file, which originally was a CSV file, but I just made some few adjustments and converted it to XLS just for convenience. Yeah. So when I load this all this data, as a result, I get such a table. So, and first of all, I would like to show a little bit the main problem with this. Let's say describe a little bit more the problem itself, and then we can look at solution. Yeah. So as I said, there is around 20 columns, and just in the process of preparing this application and the presentation, I discovered that I was exactly in the same situation to which I would like to tell you the solution. So, for example, so I loaded this data, which to me is also very interesting. I hope for you too. After this presentation, I will share this application and also the data set, so you can play with it. So, as I said, when I loaded this data, I wanted to see what about movies produced in Latvia. So there is dimension country. So I selected Latvia. There is also many records where Latvia is one of the countries, but I selected only Latvia. So, and that what I wanted to see actually was only title, then rating and votes, number of votes. Yeah, that was only the information I was interested in. So let's say simple way could be probably, let's say, try to move columns which I am interested in, and like this. But as you see, it's not so easy and not so fast to do like this. And then finally, I can try to see which movie have which rating and how many votes and so on. Yeah, and that actually is the first problem. It's not so easy to manage such a big table, and actually this is not the biggest one. There could be also bigger tables. Yeah. Second problem actually is if you want to share your data in PDF or in Excel. Okay, in Excel you can delete afterwards some unnecessary columns or something. But let's say if I want to generate a PDF file, then it actually looks kind of ugly. Yeah. In a second we can see the result of it, and it contains unnecessary data. So when I download it, you can see it's kind of part of last column and unnecessary data. Yeah. So that's actually two big problems with it. So what we can do to give one, let's say this way, professional users are almost almighty. They can just press edit and start to remove unnecessary columns, yeah, or dimensions. Yeah. So that's the one way. But as you know, analyzers or simple users of application can't do that. Yeah. So let's see how we can, as professional users, give a little bit more control to simple application users or analyzers, and give them possibility to adjust what they see and what they can export. So most simple way actually is use system field. There is such thing as system field, and this table, which you can see on the right, is the same table as I showed before. Yeah. But there is additionally created a filter pane. Yeah, and this filter pane actually is is created from just a second. Yeah, sorry, not the right one. Let's say let's create it on the fly. No, sorry. Yeah, that was not the right one. Let's do it right here. Let's choose Filter Pane, and we can create this Filter Pane from system field, which is called field. Yeah, and system fields usually starts with $, and as you can see below, then it is okay. Code is okay. Let's apply it. And you can see all the fields I have currently in my application. But as you can see, there is some strange fields which I don't need actually. And let's make a simple adjustment. And there is another one system field called table. And we can write if table equals move, which that's the name of my table, actually, which I loaded. Then please display field, otherwise nothing. Yeah, apply, and you can see I have shorter list. And let's give a better name. Dimensions of table. Now you can see all these dimensions which I have in my table. Yeah. I made in this table I made a little let's say adjustments before the presentation, just to speed up the presentation. We have limited time. Yeah. So next thing which you have to do with your table is for each column fill in this show column if. Yeah, this is a little bit routine. Takes some few minutes to do for each and every column in this table. So the logic here is that you use this match function, which actually do like this. It checks if this name exists in this list. And this list actually is, again, created from the system field. Yeah. And as you can see below in the code, then this list contains all the fields which is in my filter. And this name for which we are looking for is the name of this current column. Yeah. So, and the same for all other columns. The one thing only which changes is this field name which we are looking for. Yeah, and when this is done, then it works like this. If nothing is selected, then of course all columns is shown. If you select something, as I described before, I'm interested, let's say, in a title, then you can see immediately title dimension is only displayed in my table. Yeah. Then I was interested in rating, and I was interested in number of votes. Yeah. So this is actually the table I was interested from the beginning. Yeah. And of course, if I would like to see results only for Latvia, then I just use this this dimension and select Latvia, and here it is, nice small table which with results which I'm interested in only. Yeah. So this is the one way. Another way is actually to generate this filter, let's say, additional dimension for this filter pane. This can be done like this. With this short code, it generates additional table. Please pay attention, there is a percentage sign for table and as well for dimension in this table, which actually here I have only one dimension in this table, and both have percentage sign, which makes it as a hidden table and hidden dimension. Yeah. So when this is created, we can see this in data model. Yeah, this is the base table. Yeah, and here are additional tables which I create in my script just for this purpose to select dimensions which I need, as they call the dynamic dimensions. Yeah. So, and let's switch back to. Let's do like this. Yeah. Let's switch to another page, which is here, which is something similar to previous one, the same table. But if we look inside the code of this filter pane, then we can see that actually there is this dimension where I have these dimensions of my table, and as I said, percentage sign guarantees that it is actually hidden, because let's say if I type in just the dim, you can see this. Okay, let's do like this. You can see a Qlik doesn't offer me this dimension because it is hidden, yeah, and simple users don't see it, yeah. Yeah, and I have it back. One advantage of this solution is that I can sort my dimensions in the way. Sorry, not in this solution. In the next one. Yeah, but this is another one solution, just like that. Yeah, and yeah, here again I can select actually what I want in the similar way as in previous one. Yeah, just two different ways how to select what I want. Yeah. Then the third one way how to do it is like create manually fields which you want to see in your filter pane. Yeah, and actually, as I said, yeah, then this solution allows you to let's say give a predefined order of this of these fields. Let's say I write one by one dimensions I want to filter, and afterwards I give row number to each dimension, and in the application then I can sort my dimensions according to this given number. Yeah. As you can see here, this will be the last one solution, which I will demonstrate in pivot table. Yeah. You can see here I define dimensions which I would like to select or deselect, and separately I define also measures I would like to include or exclude from my pivot table. So when I load this these two inline tables, then let's switch to pivot table. Yeah, you can see here. Then I create two filter panes, one for dimensions and the second one for measures. Yeah. So these dimensions then have this field, again hidden field, yeah, hidden field for dimensions, and measure filter pane have measures hidden field. Yeah. So this one actually, from my experience about this solution, is pretty happy analyzer users which don't have, let's say, such big control as professional users in pivot table. And let's say one thing they can do, of course, without special, let's say, access to edit sheet, yeah, they can rearrange dimensions how they like, yeah. But one thing they can't do, let's say, remove if something is not necessary. And one case I experienced when it is really necessary. Let's say, as you can see, there is a lot of rows, and if you would like to expand them all, then only one way you can do it is through this button, expand or collapse, and then expand all. Yeah, and the one thing which will happen, as you can see, it will expand really everything. Yeah, but if you don't want to see all the dimensions which are here, yeah, it's somehow necessary to remove something which is not necessary in this pivot table at the moment. So, and these dynamic dimensions allow you to do exactly like this. Yeah. For example, I'm currently interested only, for example, in release year and title. So then I select release year and title, and that's the only things I am interested currently. Yeah, and for example, here are three measures, but I'm currently interested only in rating, so I select only rating. And then when I click this expand all, I see all the movies divided by year and with all the ratings. Yeah, and that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, which simple users can do by them own, just like that. Okay, that's actually it from my side.
Yeah, thank you. All this, yeah, very interesting, I hope, and useful also. Do we have questions? Of course not. We do not ask questions in Baltics. Yeah. I will remind once again. So all application what you see today, Lina will send link, and you'll be able to download if you want. But as I mentioned before, we are repeating stuff. So I think a lot of features you see today, you already know. Okay, let's wait 1 more minute. No? Okay, if no questions, then just let's move to another one. Richard, be ready. So Richard Sorokins is going to show us IntervalMatch function and some use cases of it. Richard, please share your screen.
Yeah. Okay, so it should be visible now. So first of all, hey everyone again, and today, as Olegs mentioned, we will be discussing the IntervalMatch function, basically how to use it, two ways of using it for pretty standard occasions, and the third one I think is interesting, well, because it can be applied to real life situations and projects. So without further ado, I think we can start with the first one. So imagine we have a data set where we have some processes and the time they have been done in, let's say, and we need to match them to a predefined interval table. So what we can see from here is that everywhere from even a second to almost 10 minutes, we get a class dimension A+. Just a simple example, right? So how we would do it is we would first of all load the facts, as in the processes, and then we would need to load the interval match table, which we will use later to join to the fact table. And how it looks in the Qlik itself, we have our IDs. This is pretty much raw data. It's not been transformed in any way, except for, if you manage to see here, this one is empty. So it basically means from an hour and a half to anything, really. So I just put in some absurd number that translates to today's date in integer. So I'm pretty sure this time won't ever come. So yeah, we need start and end to every row in order for the interval match to work. So yeah, this is the data, and the way we use it is pretty simple. In this case, I join the from and to fields according to the time. Well, I match the time to the corresponding row in the interval match table, and I do a row count before and after. The row count is a simple subroutine that just traces the number of rows on the table, so I can make sure the fact table in this case is not populated in any way. So I'll just run the first one, and we can see the table had 25 rows before the interval match and 25 rows after. So this is the result we get. For a unique ID, we get a unique class. Everything falls into places. The data is not overlapping in any way, which would result in duplicates, which we of course want to avoid. But in this case, everything seems to be fine. If we take a closer look to this table, we can see that 25 processes, 25 classes, and the class C has not been assigned to any ID. So yeah, that's basically it for the first case. Moving on to the second case, we will now do pretty much the same thing, but in this time we will be introducing a second parameter, as in we will be using a key. So this data set could be something like sales rows from a company which is doing a sales promotion, for example. And well, the idea is pretty basic. We have our product IDs, our sales, and our dates. And since it is a sales promotion, we have some discounts. Discounts are defined here, and we can see we have many rows for 3 products which we have in our facts, and some of the fields, some of the sheets, sorry, are not filled in all the way. So that means it's basically to infinity. So we would need to I would need to do this beforehand. Let's do this. And let's just see the data in here. So again, 2 tables, and we will need to get this percent to create a sales amount with discount, for example. And I have done some additional things like map the product names and fill in the empty dates like this. And for the interval match part, it's pretty much the same thing. The only thing that comes additionally is the product ID. And the sequence in which I wrote these fields is very important, because the date is the date is and must be the first parameter, or else this won't work. And something I discovered actually creating this, you can't put the end limit in the front. Like, this is the order the interval match function has to be in. If I were to put the first one as the 2, it wouldn't work either. So this is the thing to remember about interval match, that date comes first, and either a key or a compound key or something else as a parameter must be second. And so that's pretty much it. And in the end, I basically removed the synthetic keys for the sake of it. So I run this script, and now we can see the rows have been populated. And let's see what has caused it. And I created a separate table that shows me the populated row ID. So aside from that, we can see we get our sales, we get our discount, and we get the amount without it. So let's see what's the problem here. And the problem is we have overlapping dates in 2 of the intervals. Obviously, the easiest choice would be to navigate those 2, as I have just here, and basically add it by 1, and then our problem would be solved. But there could be cases where it is not so easy to correct the source data or whatever. But we could also do an approach. Instead of joining it to the fact table, we could create, I would call it a link table, a bridge table. Basically just comment this part out, create a new table, and then do the things required for you to do to eliminate the synthetic keys, and you should be fine. Also, an approach would be to, if we look here, we could use a mapping load in our advantage. We would need ID, product ID, and date as a resident table from this. And then we would do the interval match as usual, like this. And then we would create a mapping load. And in that case, we could get only one value and not worry about interval match populating our rows. So that could be another approach. Well, it depends on the case on the project, but those are pretty much the 3 ways you can do an interval match. And so the third and final case would be, imagine you have to create a profit and loss report in Qlik, and you have some entries with dates, accounts, and amounts. So as we all know, one account usually corresponds to multiple positions in profit and loss. So we will need to do something about it. So the way we can use interval matching here actually is pretty simple, but very effective for the standard cases of profit and loss. So we have our account codes, and we can actually map them into groups using integers, small ones to be precise. And well, basically, we use this sheet to get an additional column here. So for each account, we get one unique group. And then we can predefine our report in here. Basically, what it means, this row corresponds to IDs from 1 to 1, and so on. And then there's like, I guess you could call it a subtotal in some sense, because it contains every ID from 3 to 5. And then the rows 5, 6, 7 are the details of the row 3, and so on. Well, basically, you match the account code groups to these rows. using IntervalMatch. And I've also added some parameters to make the report more nice to look at, so to say. And the way this works here, so I will need to do this. Yeah, so as I mentioned, I mapped the group code to the facts later on. You could also use the join, nothing wrong with that. There's a distinct values, so nothing will populate there. And generated some missing records using not exists because we need this row no matter what we are choosing in the period filter, for example. And yeah, the interval match part comes here. So in this case, since one row from the fact table is needed to be associated with multiple rows of report table, I created a brand new table, which basically serves a bridge purpose. And yeah, then there's a very basic form of calendar. And if I run this, I get a result. And so there are the details. And the idea is that I have, well, basically two tables. And for example, I have my sales account, which starts with 6, for example, and I have its group. If I click on it, I see it's associated with sales, profit and loss before tax and after tax. So seems about right. And then the final result would be something like this. The colors are made using the parameters I mentioned earlier, and these indents are basically, there was a column in here called indent size, and what this does is I put a number of so-to-call spaces which I want to put before the text here, and it's actually character 160 instead of character 32. Well, 32 won't do anything, so this is the white space. So it works like that. And yeah, we can see that our report has been created. We can filter the periods and all rows are displaying, even though we don't have any facts here. And there's also a button that, due to the fact that I have enlarged the resolution, well, basically this one shows the period on the horizontal and turns it off. So yeah, that's basically the case about IntervalMatch in a way you can use it in your own projects, and I hope some of you will find it actually useful and interesting. So yeah, thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Richard. It was really quick. I hope everyone can follow you. So we are waiting for questions. Guys, at least one should be asked. Okay. Silence. Okay, let's continue. Thank you, Richard. And I will continue, and I will share my screen. Okay, last topic for today is link table or linking table or key table, whatever you call it. Main idea is what kind of problem we can solve with link table. there are two types of problems in most cases what we can solve. One is that we have different level of details or frequency. For example, budget data is based on months and year months, and I have an example here, and budget is on month, and then facts that we have sales, very useful example. Sales we have based on day, and this is one case. Another one we have like a budget for product group per month and for each country, and in fact, we have product details on products, items, days, and so on. So if we want to take it together, and in some cases, we want to see, for example, next month, what we have, like a budget for that month, but we don't have any details yet. So link table is used in this case. In our case is common dimensions. Imagine situation when you have, if we have sales example, let's use sales example, sales data, order data, delivery data. Those three fact tables have a lot common dimensions, and here try to make some kind of so I hope you can see, it's quite big. In this example, so we have two tables, but common dimension here is date, year, month, and then the year, month, and customer number. Yeah, this is like a common dimension for those two tables. We can join tables, we can concatenate them if we want to get them together. But concatenation has its own limitation. We should use set analysis if we want to get only sales data, if you concatenate a budget and sales table in one. As I said, the set analysis is quite powerful function and functionality, and it requires some resources, of course, but it can be used. And many years ago, Qlik View on that time said that we should create a big table, put everything in one table, so we have all common dimension in one field. Probably yes, it can be done, but in real life we try to keep something close to star or snowflake schema, and that's why we try to keep separately those fact tables. That's why we need some kind of link table between. Let's move to example, and this is my data set, like a sales order with customer ID is customer ABCD and so on, period, and order ID related to next sheet in Excel. So by order ID we can find what kind of product, quantity, and so on. If we take it together, so for the first month, customer A has 2 orders, customer B has 2 orders too. So this is like A and B. This is from one side, and from another side, this is budget. This budget is made on customer basis. So we put some numbers for our customers on our first month, and put some numbers, and this is our target, what we are going to reach, and we have a budget for next 9 months, but sales results are only for 3. And of course, customer table just to have some names. I'm not going to show budget by product, yeah, but it's also available, but this is maybe not today. Okay, so we have the small data set just to give an example, and let's switch to Qlik application. What I did, first of all, I have loaded the data. I did some fields with several values. So what was the name of that field? I'm trying to find it. Does anybody listening to me? Can you help me? How can we call that field if we put two fields in one? Okay, silence. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. So I put together year and month just to have it a little bit simple model, and join the customer name to sales order table. Left sales detail table in separate table just to see it, and I have loaded budget data and added some prefix so I can see those tables separately because as you know, Qlik will make synthetic table if I have same names for two tables, and it will make synthetic table. So I reload data. Let me see, and as a result, we have we get two tables, sales. You remember, yeah, for the first month we have only A and B customer, and then budget, yeah, for same period, but we have budget for 4 customers. If we try to compare or add some calculation or details, so I put here on table below. What we see here is what for first month we have sales results, and we have budgets only for those two, but budget for C and D customer is not here. So is not here like a row, but if you see total budget inside that number, 2,800 and so on, these numbers are all together. So we don't have details here. You see where all numbers are grouped in one row. It doesn't make sense for us. So we do little changes. I turn back to, so I will comment. This is our basis. So we start from this step and continue with composite key, adding let's comment. So as I said before, composite key with year and month. So I add customer number as a key, so we can not concatenate, but associate period with customer, with sales, and with budget. So what is done here? Just only a few things, few rows. So we create ID key as a composite key for sales. Same stuff is done for budget, yeah. And loading this data, we get next result. So I'll turn to the next page, and I'll take that filter off. You see, our sales order budget are almost the same. We can a special put with composite key here to show it. And what we see here, so I choose one period, and I see sales for exact customer, and I see budget for them, not total budget, but only this one. And this makes sense. So the budget is 555, and we got 1,100 and so on. See, this is one problem is solved. So each customer gets its budget according sales on appropriate period, but we have lost those two customers what we have budget for, but we don't have any sales. And this is normal situation, what we budget something, but real life make some corrections, and this give us next next step. What we have to add to our link table is we add some kind of link table. So this table will be between those two tables, and now we have two options how to create it. And first option is to take data from fact tables and create distinct key with table with distinct rows, with common dimension, and with keys. How it is done? So beginning is almost the same, but at the end I add link table. So I took distinct values from sales orders before I have loaded and concatenated values from budget customer table, which is loaded before, and I have dropped some fields from budget and sales order table, because now I have customer name, number, and year, month field in link table, in common table. So all data is all data of fact combination are here. I especially add some kind of store data to QED file to see what we get as a result. And so I will, yes, okay, reload data, and let's move to the sheet. Third one, and what we have now. So our sales data, our budget data. Let's take filter off. And our link table. You see here in link table, we have same ID key. Of course, it should be auto numbered, or auto hash function should be used. But here, for demonstration purposes, this is okay. So we can see every parameter of this composite key. And what we have here. So if I take first month, I see budget. I see sales orders. This is common key, that's why it appears with C and D. And in this result table, we can see every row from budget and every row from sales, what we have. In this case, if we have some kind of, for example, sales for customer G, yeah, which is not in budget, it will appears here with sales amount, but link table will contain row for that combination as well. So what it gives us, if we take, for example, period later, you see there is no sales, just budget. And if we make a chart or a table with some kind of year and month by month all numbers, we can see, for example, year's budget or quarter's budget, and can see how what's the difference between sales and then budget. Yeah, so we can make some kind of calculation and so on. So this is the third one. I told you, remember store function. I have created that link table, so I just add some. So this is one link table. This one, if I open it, you see here are all combination. And if I take this ID key, it's unique, and it's very optimized. So after transform code loading data will take not that much time. So all data, all QED file is optimized, so it's quite fast solution. Usually, link tables contains lot more data because we are doing next step. So we are not taking facts from fact tables. We are generating tables. So last one, okay, we have just a minute to finish everything. So I will be quick. We create that composite key, but not taking data from fact like it was before, but we are generating that link table. So here from row number 46, I create temporary table and take only customers from data. When joined some, not some, but all periods what we have in budget table, of course it can be calendar table, whatever, and as a result, I have created link table and stored it to QVD file. Just to show you the difference, looks like the same data set, but using this generating technique, we get this second one with 45 rows. If I take both on the screen, we can see number of rows is here 36 and 45. So what it did in this case, you see there is an customer E, yeah, very small symbols, yeah, but customer E is in customer table. If I take that my data file, customer table, you see has customer E, but there is no customer E in budget. You see no, there is no sales here, but we have that customer, and in many cases we can. Of course, it depends on the task or main purpose of application, but we can left it, and it can be here. And after loading, take a look on the sheet. So we can find that customer E as well. Yeah. So I take not this one, but here. And you see, of course, there is no fact, there is no sales, no budget, but still this customer exists in our data model, and maybe it's a data quality issue or any other. So let me finish, and I will get back to that script. So once again, so there are two main things. So different level of data. Budget by months, data by days, plus additional dimensions, for example, product category and product groups, and so on. So we should mix them, and altogether gaps in facts. For example, we don't have fact sales for every day, but we want to see do we have any sales on weekends, and we will get zeros because there is no sales. If we take only facts without linking table, we will never see weekends. So we add calendar and generate link table with all dates necessary. And one more thing here, I would like to ask, and please give me a message so one second. I hope you can see. This is a question I'd like to ask. So you can write in our conversation how many rows final table will have. I would like to pay your attention here. Same and same values in two tables. Please write in our meeting conversation how many rows final table will have. Oh. we have only right answers. Yeah, guys. Yeah, thank you. I hope that I will receive this answer. Yes, this is quite interesting stuff, and using distinct parameter in load, you should use it only once, because if you concatenate something to the same table, like here, this distinct also works for next one. So if you concatenate several times, it will stay the same. So, do we have questions? Okay. Yeah, we already know what silence is. Very often happens here. Thank you for attending. With all questions, if you don't want to ask them now, you can call Lina, call us. Our emails are first letter from name, 2 letters from surname at infotrust.lv. So just write us if you don't want to talk right now. And Lina will send you